What's up, y'all? Tyler DeLuca here, and today I want to talk about Conference Players of the Year. We're about a month out from all the conference tournaments beginning and really getting rolling and seeing some deciding factors come into play when it comes to Conference Player of the Year. But I want to talk about all of the Power 5 conferences because some of the races have already been decided in my eyes, but other ones have in fact a lot of race left to run. So I want to hear from y'all, kind of get y'all's opinion, gauge where everybody's at with this. But we're going to start off with a conference that in my eyes has already been decided. The Big Ten Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark. I mean, come on now. Nobody is doing it like Caitlin in the Big Ten. Hooping against everyone and anyone this season. 32.1 points, 8.3 assists, 7 rebounds, 1.7 steals. Come on now, y'all. Both her points and assist averages have increased in the 12 games of Big Ten play. The defense, still not a strength, but has gotten better. There's been visible improvements with that, making it less of a weakness. Now, Iowa is now second in the Big Ten following the loss to Nebraska, but even with Ohio State's Cody McMahon turning up as of late and Indiana's Mackenzie Holmes having another good season, nobody is coming close to Caitlin Clark in the Big Ten. Alright, let's talk about the Big 12 now, because currently I have Madison Booker from Texas as the current frontrunner for Big 12 Player of the Year. And let's talk about a little bit of history now, because in the history of the Big 12, only 3 sophomores have won the award. Courtney Paris, Brittany Griner, and Nina Davis, but never has a freshman won the award, and right now we're on pace to see that change. So let's talk about kind of how we got here and paint the picture a little bit, because Roy Harmon, Sedona Prince, and Ayoka Lee are either out for the season or have missed significant time, kind of dropping the baton on the Big 12 Player of the Year race, but Madison Booker picked it right up. She's averaging 15.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.6 assists on the season as a whole. But what really changed for me is when Roy Harmon went down, the way that Booker stepped up. 19.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.5 assists since Roy Harmon went down and she took over the point guard role. Oklahoma Skylar Vann has been making a run of late, and if Ayoka Lee comes back soon, she can possibly find her way back into the race. But as a Big 12 media voter myself, right now, if you ask me, my vote would go to Madison Booker. Alright, now let's go to our first conference that I don't think is decided quite yet. The ACC. I'm talking about Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo and Virginia Tech's Liz Kitley, the rookie and the vet. Let's start with the rookie. Hannah Hidalgo has been making her case all season that she is the best two-way player in the nation. She now has that signature game with the incredible performance against UConn. She is just amazing across the board. 25.1 points, 5.6 assists, 6.1 rebounds, and 5.1 steals. No, that's not a typo. That's her averages on the season, and that's just straight up video game numbers, y'all. The biggest knock on her resume in my eyes is that at the time of recording this, Notre Dame is currently closer to the middle of the ACC than the top, where Liz Kitley and Virginia Tech reside. And Kitley is aiming for her 3rd consecutive ACC Player of the Year award, and it is impossible to deny her dominance as a big in this guard-heavy ACC. 22.3 points, 11.7 rebounds, 2 blocks, the absolute fadeaway queen in the ACC. The team success and the history of this award without a doubt favors Liz Kitley, but the individual performances currently favor Hannah Hidalgo in my eyes, which will make this a very intriguing race to the finish line in the ACC. West Coast, best coast, let's talk Pac-12. The best conference in the nation has 2 of the best players in the nation. USC's Juju Watkins and Stanford's Cameron Brink. Stop me if you heard this before. The rookie and the vet. This is equally a race for the Pac-12 Player of the Year as it is for the National Player of the Year. I think if you add Caitlin Clark to this conversation and probably Hannah Hidalgo, we are having that National Player of the Year conversation. I've talked about both these players on the channel before, but let's get into it. Juju, ridiculous. GOAT in the making, incredibly consistent scoring output. The defense is there, averaging 2.7 steals and 1.6 blocks, and I honestly think her defense goes further than the impact shown on the stat sheet. 27.5 points per game, including the insane 51-point game on the road against Cameron Brink and number 4 Stanford. She is different, but here's the thing. So is Cameron Brink, the projected number 2 pick in this upcoming WNBA draft. Co-Pac-12 Player of the Year in the 2021-22 season. Arguably the most impactful player in the entire country with her two-way play. She's averaging 18 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 3.6 blocks in 24 minutes per game. There's no wrong answer here. Brink has more team success, but Juju has taken USC to heights it hasn't seen in a very long time, plus the 51 points in the head-to-head matchup. In my eyes, it comes down to what you value most in a player. Right now, I'm personally leaning towards Juju Watkins, but this is going to be an incredibly tight race down the stretch. Last but not least, the SEC. I got 3 players in this one. South Carolina's Kamilla Cardoso, LSU's Aneesah Morrow, and LSU's Angel Reese. Let's start with Kamilla, who's on an incredibly balanced South Carolina team, but still leading the team in scoring, rebounds, and blocks. 13.8 points, 9.8 rebounds, 2.9 blocks. Now, the stats don't exactly jump off the screen in comparison to some of the other stats we've heard in this video, but they're obviously very good, and that just kind of comes with the territory of playing for this South Carolina team that has 9 players playing double-figure minutes. But Cardoso absolutely has a major impact on this dominant SC team that has been incredible so far this season. She absolutely deserves to be in the Player of the Year race, if not leading it right now with the way that both herself and South Carolina has performed. But let's talk about some Tigers, starting with Aneesah Morrow, another player with some incredible two-way impact and can really just do anything that you need of her. 17.3 points, 9.9 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1.2 blocks. She's been the go-to player on several occasions in tight games for LSU when the offense isn't flowing, especially in the half court. And listen, these stats have seen a drop in comparison to the ones at DePaul, but real ones know what she was doing at DePaul and the skill levels that she has. And obviously, those are still very good stats. And I feel like she's getting increasingly comfortable at LSU and finding her role and finding her productivity that maybe wasn't there at the beginning of the season, but now she's absolutely rolling. Another player that's rolling on LSU, Angel Reese. I mean, nobody, and I mean nobody, is matching Angel Reese's work rate. Whenever she is attacking the boards, she's one of one, and I love watching it so much. I love watching her hustle. 19.5 points, 12.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.9 steals, and she only averages 0.8 blocks per game. That is absolutely not an indicator of her activity on the defensive side of the ball, disrupting shots. Her feet stay moving and active on that side of the ball. Her hands are always up. I wouldn't consider her as versatile as Aneesah, but man, what she is good at, she is great at. Impactful on both sides of the ball, like both players listed above, averaging those near 2 steals a game. Obviously has the star power backing as well. This SEC race is probably the most muddied when it comes to who I think is going to come out on top, and it does feel like one monumental game from any of these players could swing the race in one way. I think I'm giving this to Kamilla Cardoso currently, but ask me again tomorrow, and my opinion could be completely different. Alright, y'all, well, that's going to do it for me today, but like I said at the beginning of this video, I want to hear from y'all. Sound off in the comments. Who do you think should be the Player of the Year in each of these Power 5 conferences, especially the ACC, Pac-12, and SEC, since I still think that those are up in the air? I want to hear from y'all and where your heads are at. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out all the links down below. We officially launched on Substack and Twitter as well, so make sure you go subscribe and follow on all of those platforms, and I'll see you next time.